Hi, my name is Emma Kaufman, and I'm going to be talking about my 9-week unit plan that's intended for grades 10 through 12. It revolves around statement-based art, also known as art activism. These are the main lessons. The first lesson is an intro to statement-based art. What is it, and who are some of the artists that create it? We'll interpret and analyze artworks. What did the artist intend to happen versus how do viewers perceive it based off of their personal experiences or perspectives. How do different mediums affect how these messages are given? How do different presentations affect how these messages are given, etc. Some things they'll turn in are a short essay where they compare and analyze two artists, a group presentation where they analyze a specific piece of artwork that we have not talked about yet, and their unit plan. What political, cultural, or social idea / theme are they going to dive into, and how will the different mediums we use affect the way they do it? So the first project is going to be an installation. I made this class-wide because the size of an installation can be intimidating. Also, it helps them see how collaboration, makes them grow as artists. Then the next 3 lessons are where they make their individual projects, all of which are being influenced by artists who use the same medium. The first is going to be street art. They can really explore how would this piece of art being on political display affect the way they create it. And then same with mixed media art, where I challenge them to use a minimum of 3 materials and how these different materials give different impacts. And then in the digital art, I added color theory because I think it would be really interesting to see how it can influence their composition and how, deepen their understanding of how color harmony can affect the perception of an artwork. And then lastly, we have our exhibition and essay. They showcase their collection with the exhibition narrative, and then at the end they turn in an essay where they reflect upon the unit and what they learned, and how they grew. These are the main learner outcomes of the unit. They helped shape the lesson. Most of them I talked about when I was explaining the lessons, but overall they're just helping students understand the concepts such as social critique, cultural commentary, and political engagement, and how that can be created or perceived, based off of the mediums and your personal experiences and where it's presented or how it's presented. Some artists that we are going to be studying to help with this include the 4 I listed here. So Banksy, he's a street artist who, discusses his views on war, capitalism, and the human condition. Blue is also a street artist who talks about his views of consumerism, war, and the impact of technology on society. And then Shepard Fairey, he's also a street artist, but I wanted to focus more on the digital aspect. Overall, he talks about many topics, and these include the abuse of power, racism, propaganda, or environmental destruction. Then that last artist there, Hito Cero, she's also a digital artist, but she likes to showcase the way the world is, but really dive into how it can be different. And then here's a few examples of artworks that we'll study. River Crabs reflects on how the Chinese government is trying to uniform its citizens. It's saying that the Chinese people are like helpless crabs caught in a net. Then the Untitled Skull is exploring the duality of internal and external, in a person. And then Chairs is a reminder of a mass grave. It's addressing the 2 effects of wartime, which are wartime violence, which are chaos and absence. And then the Sunflower Quilting Bee of Aros is 8 powerful Black women with a 9th fictional, where they are displaying a colorful quilt as a communal symbol of their achievements. Here are examples of the assessments that they'll see throughout the unit. The formative assessments are, just their checking for understanding. Are they thinking about this deeply? Are they really understanding the message they're trying to give and how they're going to give it? Where the summative assessments are for those grades, which at the end of each unit, they'll have their artist statement, class critique, and then the product that they turn in. And then at the very end of the unit, they have their exhibition narrative, their reflective essay, and The unit rubric I will use at the very end, but they'll look at it throughout the entire unit to make sure they're on the right track. And here's 2 examples of what they might turn in. I use the idea of the educational gap. On the left is in the street form, and on the right is in the digital form. My main ideas are student-centered learning. I want them to feel like this is their classroom. They're really creating what they want and how they want to. It's going to be a lot of open studio time, which will lead to that deeper engagement. And by bringing in all these perspectives, they'll have a global learning moment and really make meaningful connections with each other and with the society around them and with themselves. And then lastly, here's some references for the artist and artwork.